If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today. You have water and you've utilized a lot of that water over the past year to grow cover crops. And in the past episode, you talked about putting your production beds to sleep, given the slowdown in the market. Can you talk about what that means, putting beds to sleep?
So we're pretty much putting cover crops in just to keep plants functioning, pumping photosynthesis, root exudates into the soil, and it's a super quick strategy to not have to do too much with that area. So you nailed it, putting an area to sleep. Going back, way back, nearly 20 years ago, when we were doing seed production in summer, so we have a long vegetable seed production, we have a long seed crop in for summer, and then we'd put the whole garden to sleep into cover crops for winter, and it would be a mixed species, a long season mix of cover crops. So it would be grains, pulses, legumes, anything of 10, 15 varieties and then together, mostly annuals, so we can terminate it. But oats was a key component. So we'd be seeding all of that in autumn and fall. And with the John Jevons mindset, we were waiting till the plants had grown to full maturity to get the carbon to be able to harvest for the compost. That's pretty old school. And we would have the whole garden in cover crops in winter. Moving forward, and actually I'd like to just stick with that one. So all I had was a rake and a little 5-tine fork. So I'd do my bed prep, and to create a beautiful seed bed, conditions for germination, I would rake the surface, pretty physical, to get a beautiful seed bed, and then broadcast or scatter so the mixed seed on top, and then rake really aggressively to bury the seeds, irrigate, cover with shade net. And it's still not a lot of work, but it's pretty physical on the rake. That's how we started out before we knew about things like tarping and tilther and all the new tools that really make a farmer's life a bit easier. And then the catch-22 with this one though is to get the carbon, you need to steal half of your spring grow out time for these plants to mature. And when they're finished, the plants are standing and brown. It's easy to get them out. But if they're still alive and green and you want to manually pull them out, well, there's not enough hours in the day. So we used to grow those cover crops for the soil, but also for compost production.
Yeah, if you look at back then, how much do you think that helped build your soils? Was that an invaluable part of the process?
I think back then we had young children. I was working off farm. It was I guess the thing here for anyone at any time is something happens, you can put the garden to sleep pretty quick and forget about it. So that was the value. I could be traveling or I could be at work off knowing I don't have bare soil. The garden's looking after itself for now. And I think in terms of plants doing the work to aerate your soil, it's context. It depends what you're on. We're on a really hard pan mountain ash subsoil. So my strategy here is ideally I like to open the soil first before putting the cover crops in. And so just to stick with that moving forward, as we develop a new field block, we're just cultivating the top 3 to 4 inch to break up the grass crown, and it's compact underneath. Then we can tarp it, kill out the grass crown, and then we can tilt the surface and be straight in with cover cropping. So that's a pretty quick way to hit a big area. Just as long as you've killed the grass out using the tarp process, you can get quite an area cover cropped, knowing we can develop this in the future when we have the time, the labor, and the need for the markets, the sales.
Hello, growers. Protect your crops from harmful insects with Modern Growers Insectanet. This top-tier insect netting made by Modern Grower shields your plants from pests and harsh weather, boosting your yields without harmful sprays. Insectanet's unique design allows 90% of the light to pass through and is easy to use with low tunnel systems like our Quick Hoops. It's soft, elastic, and durable, perfect for field use to help ensure that your crops thrive. Say goodbye to pest damage and hello to healthier, market-ready produce. Invest in Insectanet and see the difference it makes. Get Insectanet at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.